Hi and welcome back. I thank you for all the love and support you've shown to my channel so far. We reached our first goal of 100 subscribers and I really thank you for that. In this video, I'll be updating a logo I did for T&J Barbershop. In the video, I just want to walk you through the steps I take to revise an existing logo, a logo I created a long time ago. So if you're ready, let's jump on over to the art table. Welcome back to the drawing table. This is the logo I'll be working from today. It's a barbershop logo I created in my youth. A little bit about the tools I'll be using: copier paper, an eraser, and a number 2 pencil. The essence of the logo design will remain intact, but I do want to make some revisions to the character's face, the position of the hand as it relates to how he's holding the comb, to enhance the overall silhouette of this character design and logo design. So let's get started. Starting off by creating a shape for the character's head. And again, everything is going to be rough here at the beginning. I'm not going to fall in love with anything that I'm doing. Just trying to match the character's pose. By using, for better lack of terminology, stick figure to kind of block out the angles of the limbs and his arm. Big mask for his fist. Another mask for his hand that's holding the clipper. Just trying to find volumes at this particular time that match the overall layout of the existing concept. So this is the very rough stage of the sketching process. I noticed that initially when I first did this a long time ago, that I kind of hyperextended the character's leg, so I'm going to try and fix that in the revision. So his leg will be a little more accurate in terms of correct anatomy. Shoes. So everything is rough. I'm just trying to feel my way through what's going on. Mask where the shoulder would go. You know, his arm is a little funky here, so trying to fix that. Hand, changing the position of the comb to add to the character's silhouette. His other arm and elbow up. His hand holding the clipper. The cord for the clipper is going to come down and around and off, like so. Keeping everything kind of just rough, right? So in the next step, I'll take this sketch, this rough sketch, and clean it up. Okay, so here I am with the very, very rough initial sketch. And before I move on to the next phase of cleaning up this sketch is I want to take a look at the original concept and my rough sketch. So taking a step back, I know that I like a lot of things that are going on over here that I did not accurately translate to the rough sketch. Like, for example, the head size. His head size is way too big. I like the size of this head. I like the squattiness of this character. So I need to change my rough sketch before moving on to reflect the things that I like in the actual concept sketch. So I'm going to erase the head shape to scale it down to be more in line to what I have over here. So in actuality, I want his head to be more about this size here. Right here, like that. All right. Because I like how big the clippers are in comparison to the size of his head. Like he's peeking around from the back of these big menacing clippers, right? The other thing I like about the original concept is how squatty he is. So his legs here in my revised version are a little bit too long, and I want to keep that kind of squatty, kind of proportional kind of physique that he has. So I'm going to erase the feet to shorten up the legs and make sure that I capture that squattiness. Okay. This speaks to not falling in love with anything, because you know you got to come in here and clean up and revise some things. So I'm going to keep him more squatty. Like this. A little more life into his legs. Make sure kind of his kneecaps stay parallel to each other as he's squatting. So I'll open them up a little bit more, like so. The kneecaps lined up. And then this leg is going to, well, this foot will be facing, almost forward facing towards you, kind of like in the concept, but not as dramatic as that leg, because that's not very accurate from the standpoint of the anatomy. So keep those parallel, bring these down, and yep, there we go again. Shorten the leg up a little bit just to accommodate the foot resting further back away from the viewer. So it's not going to be in the same plane as the front facing leg or foot. It'll be a little bit further back because it's further away from the viewer. So more like that. Bring his knee up a little bit. I know it's nasty. It's nasty right now. So, but this is only searching for the final kind of concept of what we want to clean up. Some more like this right here. This arm, elbow is going to come down and then come out to hold the comb. May need to work on that a little more, so erase that out. And in the concept, it seems like he's bowing his body a little more, so his arm is kind of swinging around. So let's try to kind of keep that kind of bowing around and holding the comb like this. So his arm is swinging out like so. I know it's ugly, but stick with me. We'll get there. And then the comb will be up in this position here. And we'll take out this over here. Like so. So very, very, very rough, but we're finding our way through the concept in the revision here. So next we'll start cleaning this all up and making it, dialing it back into what's happening over here, but in a nice, cleaner, revised sketch. Okay, so before I move on, there's one thing I want to kind of tweak here. I want to make his other arm a little bit larger. The elbow and forearm area holding the clipper a little bit larger. So I'm just blocking in. I want to make that more pronounced in the concept. Him holding this. So now that I have that, I will take another sheet of copier paper, which really isn't billed as being translucent, but when you use heavy intentional sketch lines, you can put one sheet over the top of it and still see through it fairly well. So now I just want to proportionally, very lightly, find the volumes of mass of my concept sketch underneath. So I'll just kind of lightly draw a shape for the size of the head and the size of the clipper. So I want to make sure that all these things proportionally do what I want them to do as it relates to other elements in the concept. So the shirt's going to be here. The shirt sleeve. It's going to come down and it's going to drape in front, kind of where his belly is. And then one of his legs is going to be over here. So I just want to kind of proportionally take a look at all these masses and how they are working together. Another mass here, the other leg here, where the kneecap is, this crotch area here, the front facing leg here, the shoe mass here, the shoe that's further away from the viewer here, and then this other arm that's holding the comb. So kind of out. His forearm will be here. It's kind of almost a right angle. He's holding his arm at kind of a right angle. And his fist here is clutching the comb. And then the shape of the comb is in this hand, like so. And then maybe the bottom piece of it will be out like this. And kind of his chest will be here. And then his other arm that's holding a clipper, that mass right here. And then his hand is going to be holding it like so. So I'm just doing this so I can check to see if I kind of like the way everything is lining up. The cord is going to come up like so, come down and out like that. And I think that looks pretty good. So now that I see how everything's working, making my comparisons, pretty happy with where everything is. We'll move on to the actual cleanup sketch. Okay, so here's where we left off. We have the original concept sketch over here. We have the roughed out sketch based on the concept sketch here. And then we talked about finding the volumes of each particular element of the concept in the previous videos. So now what I want to do is I want to come in and I want to start finding all the silhouettes for the actual parts of the character that I want to incorporate into the new design. So I will erase some of these overlapping lines to start defining like the shape of the legs, the silhouette of the leg with the shoe on both legs. Get rid of the cord line that goes through the leg there. Up here where the shirt and the legs come together, kind of want to erase some of those overlapping lines. And here where the arm is holding the clipper into the hand that holds the clipper line that intersects where the hand is, and so forth. Kind of start refining the shapes. And then from this point, I will start recreating the actual new kind of layout of the drawing. So I will probably speed the video up here as I start refining, but feel free at any point in the video that you see that you don't understand kind of what I'm doing to kind of drop a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll review that and try to explain to you why I'm doing a particular thing. So I'm going to now do less talking and just kind of work over and try to capture the new kind of layout for you. have the basis of the original concept kind of cleaned up in a rough sketch that I'll now head into translating into black and white line art before I add the final color. But one thing I wanted to do is, I thought that I wanted to change the orientation of the hand, but the more I look at it, I like the direction and the character of the hand in the original concept. So I'm gonna revise that and change it back to the original concept version. So there it is. We have it cleaned up into kind of the rough, well, less than rough sketch of the next phase. So in the next video, I will take this sketch into Photoshop and start working on creating the line work. Okay. A few little things I want to adjust before moving on after taking a step back is in the original concept, the clipper cord has a nice little kink in it, and I think that adds a lot of character to the overall logo. So I want to add that into my revised sketch, and also kind of what's happening on the character's brow. He has this really sharp kind of, you know, not really anatomically correct, but I like the character that it brings to his face, so I'm gonna add that in. Like so. The hair comb pieces I'll add in later. And then the other thing I need to add is the T&J charm. But the reason I didn't add it into this part of the sketch is because I didn't want to get you bogged down with all the detail happening there. I wanted you to kind of see what I was doing with the body of the character. So I'll take another sheet of paper and overlay it and sketch out the T&J pendant. And then when we get to Photoshop, I'll show you how to add it into the cleaned up version of the drawing. So just pretty simple T. Block letters. T. And then J. We'll add J. Add that like so. And it's connected by a ring, so we'll add that. Add the thickness. And I guess if you haven't figured out already, the name of the barbershop is T&J. So that's why he has a T&J logo. T&J Barbershop in the 313. So add that there. And clean it up just a little bit. Apologize for the loud pencil roll. I noticed that when I drop my utensils, or not utensils, but my tools down on the table, it seems to be kind of loud, so try to be more aware of that for you. T&J, charm holder or clip. And then the chain will go around his neck. So I'll just kind of make the chain shape, and then I'll add the detail once we get over into Photoshop and do the line work. There's the T&J. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of, I'll be able to just kind of put it right where it needs to be in Photoshop, and then erase out any of the overlapping line work from the body of the character. So we're headed over to Photoshop. See you there. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you like this video and you like the content that I am creating, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and be on the lookout for part 2 in this series. I will see you in the next video.